Good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. So today we are on a new subtopic, that's leadership. So by the end of the lesson, you should be able to list all the qualities of a leader, explain all the leadership styles, and discuss on how to succeed as a leader. So we should begin by defining the term a leader and the term leadership. A leader is a person who influences a group of people towards the achievement of a goal. Thus, leadership is a process whereby an individual influences a group of individuals to achieve a common goal. So, a leader is one who is able to influence a group of people, and leadership is a process. You should be able to differentiate the two terms by knowing that leadership is a process, whereas a leader is a person who is in the position to influence a group of people towards the achievement of a goal. So we should also define or list the qualities of a leader. As a leader, which qualities should you possess to be in a position to achieve the predetermined goals? A leader should be supportive. You should be able to support others so as to achieve their goals. A leader should also be inspirational. He or she should motivate others towards the achievement of a goal. Honest. Highly committed. He should be highly committed to the allocated duties. Passionate. He or she should love doing what leadership entails. Reflective or decisive. He should be in a position to make all the decisions regarding leadership. Creative. Problem solver. So we proceed to leadership style. We have so many leadership style, but we will focus mainly on four. That's the autocratic leadership style, bureaucratic, democratic, and laissez-faire. So we should begin by the autocratic approach. This autocratic approach is the classical approach. It was used it's not commonly used nowadays. It was used in the past. So in this leadership style, the manager retains all the power and decision making and does not consult staff at all. Staff are only expected to obey orders without any explanations. Is structured on a set of rewards for those who perform well and punishment for those who do not perform well. This is what is known as carrot and stick, as the carrot applies a set of rewards and the stick applies a set of punishment for those who do not perform well. So, under which circumstance is this leadership style appropriate? Can anyone try? So this leadership style is appropriate when on new and untrained staff who do not know which tasks to perform or which procedures to follow. It's also appropriate when work needs to be coordinated with another department. It's also appropriate when there is limited time for decision making. When you are very limited, you don't have time to console on other people decisions. So this style will be appropriate. So on this point of limited time for decision making, we can say on emergency situations is when it can be appropriate. It's also appropriate when staff do not respond to any leadership style. When you have applied all the leadership styles and the staff do not respond, this is what you will use. So what are the disadvantages of this leadership style? So I'll give you that one as an assignment. We'll come and look at it next week. So we proceed to the next leadership style, that's the bureaucratic leadership style. In this leadership style, everything is done according to procedure or policy. So In this leadership style, there are laid down procedures in an organization. There are laid down policies, so you just follow those policies according to what they say or how they have been set. So this leadership style is appropriate under which situations? It's appropriate when staff are performing routine tasks over and over. So there are these routine tasks that they have been set. Bureaucratic leadership style is appropriate to be used when there are routine tasks. It's also appropriate when staff need to understand certain standards or procedures. When there are new standards or procedures, you just have the laid down policies, the laid down procedures. This bureaucratic style will be appropriate. When safety or security training needs to be conducted, when staff performing tasks that require handling of cash. You know, handling of cash is very risky at times, so you have to apply this leadership style whereby rules and procedures or policies are followed. So you'll also look at its advantages and disadvantages at your own time. We proceed to the next leadership style, that's the democratic leadership style. This leadership style is the very commonly used leadership style. Even in our country, we have adopted this leadership style of the Democrat. It's also known as a participative style, whereby it encourages staff to be a part of the decision making, keeps staff informed about everything that affects their work. So it's like you involve the staff in each and everything that is done in the organization, and they feel part of that organization. So this leadership style is appropriate when staff needs to be informed about matters that affect them. When you want staff to share decision making and problem solving duties. So it's appropriate when you want the staff to contribute their decisions on a certain problem or on a certain topic. It's also appropriate when you want to provide opportunities for staff so as to encourage their personal growth and their job satisfaction. So it feels so good when the staff are involved in decision making. They will contribute to the growth and job satisfaction, which will lead to achievement of the organizational goals. So I think this leadership style is very, very good, and it should be applied so as to achieve the organizational goals. So, and I think there are times when it's not that appropriate. That's why it has disadvantages and its advantages. So you'll also look at the disadvantages and the advantages. It also encourages team building and participation. When staff are involved in the decision making, they will be encouraged to team building, and they will participate in all the activities that involve the organization. So we have the last one that we look at, that's the laissez-faire. This leadership style is also known as the hands-off style. In this leadership style, the manager provides little or no direction and gives them as much freedom as possible. So I think this leadership style is a combination of the autocratic leadership style and the democratic. The manager has some power to us, the authority to make some power, and also the staff can make decisions. So it's a combination of the two, such as so. We will look at when is it appropriate to be used, the advantages and the disadvantages. So you have an assignment on the advantages and disadvantages of each leadership style, and also to add on is the when is the laissez-faire leadership style appropriate to be used. We'll come and look over that next week before we start our lesson. The last thing that I will deal on before I end is the points on how to succeed as a leader. So when you are a leader in in an organization. What should you apply so as to be able to succeed? You should be able to inspire commitment. You should inspire commitment among those whom you are leading. You should also plan strategically. So what do we mean by the term plan strategically? You should lay down all the plans prior their commitment. You should lay all the plans before, plan it well in terms of finances, in terms of when to be achieved, the timelines. I think you should apply the SMART rule. They should be specific, they should be measurable, the plan should be achievable, and they should be time bound. You should manage change well. Change is very, especially to employees. When not managed well, their employees will reject change. You should develop your employees. You should also practice self-awareness. You should practice self-awareness amongst yourself, amongst those whom you are leading. You should also lead the employee. You should be the one who is in the lead. The employee should not lead you, and yet you are a leader. So up to this point, I think I'm done. You will look at the assignment I've given unto you. We'll come and pick up from there next week. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.